My name is Adrienne Oliver, and I have been an agent since March of 2014. So I haven't been an agent that long, but I've had great success with expireds. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you kind of what I do, how I do it, go through the book, give you my own little twist, but also we're going to make actual calls at the end. So you can see what it's like live. And the purpose of this is to try to get you guys to do expired calls, right? That's why we're all here, so y'all can understand expired calls. So, without further ado, if y'all are all on board, let's get this started. Good? Okay. So, a little bit about me. I was a regional sales manager and a national sales trainer for a medical device company. Two of them. I got sold from one company to the other company. Like your fairy godmother just says, "Oh, come in with me." So, when I got to the additional company, I had a no-compete clause. So I had come from I sold widgets, so things that were a couple $100s, right? I sold those, and I made my company about $15 million a year off of $100 items, right? So when I moved from company to company, I had a no-compete clause, which meant I could no longer sell in the territory that I had sold in before, right? So that $15 million was gone, okay? The job I got a small stipend of base salary, but most of my money was made in commission, okay? It was a sales position. So it took a position where the prior employee had committed suicide. That's how great the territory was, okay? So I took this position, and I had nothing, okay? So they were like, they were really nice to me, and they sent me out in this territory, and we're like, she's gonna starve, or she's gonna make it. Let's see what she's gonna do, right? So the company that I worked for was a very small startup company, so I didn't have very many resources. So I'm like, okay, I need to eat. How am I going to eat? So I sold to mostly ambulatory surgery centers and hospitals. I started cold calling. So I cold called one week the entire state of Wisconsin. Every single ambulatory surgery center in the entire state of Wisconsin got a phone call from me. Okay? Spoke to every single director of nursing, business office manager in the entire state. I had 14 states, and I just kept going. Going. And my goal was that I need to feed myself, right? So I did that, and my first client, I lived in Houston, so I had 14 states. My first client was in Gulfport, Mississippi, okay? And so I got a couple clients in, Mississippi and Louisiana and all these, and Dallas and a couple other places. And the way I did that was through cold calling. So I was able to feed myself, maintain my reputation, and move on to other things. So when I took this job as a realtor, I'm like, okay, I need to do that again. I can do this, I can do it again, so how am I going to do it? So I started calling expireds. So for me, I call expireds wherever they are, because they're listings, okay? So I've taken listings in Galveston. I took 4 listings in Galveston in March. I've taken listings in the Woodlands. I took a listing yesterday in Montgomery. But I will take expired listings wherever I go, because this is going to be the bread and butter that I feed myself on. So I've done this kind of consistently, and I say it like that because when I started with this off, it was December. The packet that I gave you guys, Alma gave me that packet and said, there's 3 items you need to start, go call expireds. I was like, all right, okay, I can do this. So I got myself a headset, and this is what it looks like in front of me. So it just goes into like the little clip phone, and it usually goes on my hip, and I'm usually in my pajamas. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. And I'm calling expireds. Okay. The other things that I did is I bought Red-X and Mojo. Okay, and at the time when you had no money coming in, it was a little scary to me because I'd spend probably about $2,000 a year on the combined of Red-X and Mojo. If you want, I can send you guys a link to Redux and Mojo. So if you will email me, my email is soldbyaoliver@gmail.com. It's on the board too. So you need a headset. You need to sign up for Redux and sign up for Mojo. The things that I like about Redux and Mojo versus some other things that we have in this industry is Redux is you can turn it on and you can turn it off. So for instance, in March I had 15 listings. I've been calling expired since December. I had 15 listings. I was one person. I decided I can't handle anymore. I'm going to put it on pause, right? So I called Redux and I put it on pause and they'll hold it for up to 6 months for you. And they'll take it back off. So they hold your account. Mojo, I did the same thing. And so instead of paying $99 a month for Mojo, I said, I don't want to use your service, but I need to maintain my database. They said, okay, $10 a month. So from March to September, I paid $10 a month for Mojo. That was it. And that's nothing. Okay?
How much did you pay for Redux?
I believe Redux is like $70 a month.
70?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a database?
Mm-hmm. It's a database.
How much to maintain if you pause it?
It's $0.
Okay.
They don't charge you. They only charge you when you use it. So that's what I liked about it, and that's why I think more people should do it that way. Is because it's not a hard commitment. Now usually they'll say like you have to do the first 6 months or you have to do the first 3 months or whatever, and do it for that period of time. But after that, you can take your account on and off.
That's why you said you spent $1,000 or $2,000?
If I had paid all of it like together, I would have paid. I added it up. It was $2,000 a year. So if I did one transaction off of an expired listing, I get my money back.
Yeah.
So the first transaction that I did was in the Woodlands, and this house had sat for 7 months, and I sold it in 30 days. Okay, so to me, I like puzzles. I like to figure things out, and I enjoy that. I think some agents don't enjoy that part of the business. So sometimes you get different things. So for me, houses don't sell for 2 reasons: price and exposure, right? So either the clients are stuck on their price or it's not getting the proper exposure, right? So I can fix both, really, because by the time they get to me, usually they're upset, right? Usually most of the houses that I take are vacant, so people, they want to get rid of them. Sometimes they're not quite out fire sales, but they're motivated sellers. So when I call expireds, I call at least 100 a week.
You call 100 a week?
At least, minimum.
So how many a day?
It varies on what I got to do that day. So for instance, on Monday I called 56. On Tuesday I called 51. On Wednesday I had a listing appointment at 10 o'clock in the morning in Montgomery, so I didn't call any on Tuesday. And this morning I called 35 because I had to get here and set up for the
So do you give yourself like an hour or 2 hours?
I usually call between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning. You can call whenever you want. I like that window because I want to be first. I want to be the first phone call they get.
Wow.
Because I find that if you are not the first phone call that they get mad. And they get mad quick. So I do a lot of apologizing. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, and when I make calls, you might hear me say, I'm really sorry, have a good day. So I have done some of that. So and it's a numbers game. Calling expireds is a numbers game. So you need to think of it, and you need to train your brain to everyone that you call today is going to tell you no. Everyone. Everyone has already told you no. How many people am I going to get to tell me yes today? So it needs to be about the opposite. So because they've all, and so I find that people do it and they get discouraged. I find that when I use what I use, I get less discouraged than what I did before. I have a pre-recorded voicemail, so I don't leave a voicemail. I just click a button, and I get phone calls back. For instance, today on the way in, I'm driving down the road, driving to this class, I get a phone call from a lady, and she said, you called me about an hour ago? And I say, did you have a house that was for sale that should have sold but didn't? That's what I say. And she says, well, yes. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm a relisting specialist. This is what I do. And I go back into my spiel. And I say, when is it good? And the next step for us is for me to meet you at your home and look at the home and see if I can help you. Right? And she wanted to tell me about her house. And so I told her, that's fine. You can tell me about your house. She felt like the reason that it expired was it didn't get the proper exposure it deserved. So I talked to her about that. And I have an appointment for her to list her house tomorrow at 4 p.m.
And so that's one of the, out of the 35 calls you made this morning, that's what you got. So you got one. And you called yourself a relisting specialist. That's a pretty cool name you gave yourself, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I just totally made that up.
So that makes you sound like you know what the hell you're doing.
Right, because I do.
Well, that's really cool.
And I also tell people, like, when I call, you got to use what you have. So whatever you have to leverage. So think about yourself and say, what do you have? For me, I have a 5-star rating on Heart. I have 22 reviews.
Wow.
Every single person that's ever used me has given me 5 stars. Some of them have left really nice comments. So I tell them to look me up on Heart.
Do you?
And I even send them a link
Okay.
if they give me their email address. I say, look me up on Heart. I've had people, this Monday, I had someone ask me if I was a convicted felon. That was fun. So I read this Dayline special, and they were convicted, you know, real estate agents are a convicted felon. And I'm like, well, I can assure you I'm not a convicted felon, sir. I, basically take properties that should have sold and I sell them. I've never taken an expired listing I haven't sold, because that's true. And I asked him if I could give him 3 references, right? And if that would make him feel more comfortable. Called 3 of my clients, said, can I give your phone numbers out to this guy? They were like, sure. And emailed him, called him a day.
2 things. What does your recorded message sound like?
It's on here. So my recorded message is, if you look on page 10, my recorded message says, hi, this is Adrienne Oliver with REMAX. I'm calling in regards to your home. Please return my call at your earliest convenience.
What's that? Say that again. Read
It's hi, this is Adrienne Oliver with REMAX. I'm calling in regards to your home for sale. Please return my call at your earliest convenience at 832-217-7141.
So
Thank you and have a great day.
You don't actually say you're a relisting specialist on that recording. You say it when they call you back.
So I'm calling in regards to their home for sale, which is true.
Absolutely.
I didn't lie, and I find I listed a house off of an expired yesterday when I took that listing appointment. That's the reason I didn't make expired calls. But the listing I took before that, it had expired that morning. He was like one of my first 4 or 5 calls, and this is the only exception I will make to breaking my 8 to 10 rule, right? So from 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning, unless there's a fire, I am calling expireds. That's what I'm doing. I don't answer the phone. You can reach me by text if you need me. Nothing else is happening in my life. Except for if I get on the phone and that person says, yes, Adrienne, when can you get to my house?
Yeah.
Then I hang up the phone and I get dressed because I'm still in my jammies. And I go. Okay? That happened to me with one of my properties that I have listed right now. It's on Sage Karen. And I went there and I was meeting with him for my listing appointment at 11 o'clock. I always bring all my paperwork with me. When I was there, he got several expired phone calls. These people, so I got to hear what other agents say, and they're not saying the right thing.
What are they saying?
They're saying, hi, this is Adrienne. How are you doing today? Nobody cares how you're doing. Okay. Like, you get to the point. Okay? So I say, hi, this is Adrienne Oliver with REMAX. I noticed that your home listing had expired. I was wondering if you still desire to sell your home. Period. Do not talk.
Yeah.
Do not talk. Quiet. Don't explain anything else. You're not their best friend. You don't know them. Okay? Just quiet. Okay? Give it a pause. Wait for them to come back. And then handle whatever they say. If they don't say anything, you have the address in front of you and you say, "Are you the owner of?" And you list the address. And if they say no, you say, "Thank you, sorry, I had the wrong number," and you hang up the phone. Okay? So your objective to calling expireds is not to talk about their home, talk about their grandmother, figure out what their favorite color is. It's to get an appointment. So you want to be on and off the phone as quickly as possible. There's ways in this book that they have to manage objections. So if people tell you no off the bat, in the book you can say, you can have a comeback to it, right?
What's your most famous one?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
You move on.
I move on.
My second question was, you talk about exposure, a lot of them don't sell for exposure. Are you gonna tell us how you managed to be the one who actually gives them the exposure and how?
I do everything you're supposed to do as an agent. So I do
is there any kind of marketing that you're doing that the previous agent maybe didn't do?
postcards, open houses, Facebook ads. You name it, I do it. The house in the Woodlands, the first one that I ever sold, I had that house for 30 days. Every single weekend I was at that house working an open house. Every single weekend.
Okay.
Every single weekend. I sold that house from emailing another agent. So I will email all the buyer's agents that have sold in that area in the last 6 months, and I will personally invite them to view my listing. And that I'm easy to work with, and that I'm, whatever. That they should work with me, and I had this house for sale, and isn't it beautiful?
So who did you sell it to? Was it a previous agent, or an agent that had worked in that area? Mm-hmm. That's who you sold it to?
Mm-hmm. And I negotiated the heck out of it. So she offered a lowball offer, and I worked it up. So
how did you work it up? Talking about upgrades?
Talking about upgrades, talking about the other things that they were worth. And so I got it a little bit to where my seller would bite, and it was what it was like $4,000 below what my seller wanted, right? And this house was a vacant home. So I basically had a discussion with my seller and told him, at some point you have to stop the bleeding. At some point, sir, this house is sitting vacant. It sat vacant for 8 months now. You're paying utilities. You're paying all these other things. You don't live here. You're driving back and forth from Austin. At some point, we need to stop the bleeding.
Oh, that's a good metaphor.
So I was able to sell it, right? And so it all worked out with that particular one.
Is there any other strategy besides what you just mentioned, calling buyers agents that you're using, that you see that other agents aren't using, and that's why it's working for you?
Just working hard. You'd be surprised at the amount of agents that are lazy. For instance, the listing the listing appointment that I went on yesterday. I pull up to this listing appointment, and the guy's sign's still in the yard. It's been expired for 2 weeks. His sign is still in the yard.
Well, you know why? Because he's still getting leads from that sign.
Well, guess who pulled his sign and put my sign in the yard after that day? Okay, so I pulled his sign, and his lockbox was still on the door with his key. So it happened to be a code. The owner happened to know it. So I took it out, put it on the side of the house with I put his lockbox and his sign on the side of the house, put my lockbox and everything on there. But when you ask that question when you go on that interview, you say, why do you think your house didn't sell? You ask them. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I've sold every expired that I've ever taken, but I don't take every expired.
Okay.
There's been 3 expireds that I haven't taken. One of them was very scary. The people were very scary. They scared me, and I left. That listing appointment with
elaborate, please.
So, I went into a particular area, and I went in the house, and the house was not in good shape. And I get there, and this lady greets me at the door, and I sit down at the kitchen table, and she's like, I'm calling my husband from work. He'll be here in a minute. So the way that the house is set up, there's like a garage, there's a side door, and there's a front door, and I'm in the kitchen, right? So this house, I'm already like questioning, like, this house is in really bad condition, like, it's gonna be more difficult to sell, like, I'm not sure that this is the house for me. That's already going in my head, right? So I have my little packet, my little listing packet, and, I have my computer up, and 3 men come from all 3 of those doors at the same time. Flip my computer down, get my listing packet, walk up to the man who's coming through the front door, have everything packed in my backpack, and I say, here's my listing presentation. Of course, he grabs the other end, and as he grabs the other end, I sidestep towards the door, right? If you have any questions, call me, and I leave, right? Because they creeped me out. We're done. That doesn't need to happen to me. So the other ones that I've done is because they're not reasonable on their price. So what I tell people, I sell homes, I don't list them, right? I don't get paid to list houses. In fact, if I list a house and I don't sell it, I've spent $1,000 on marketing, right? At least. So, I mean, how many people come to your door and ask for $1,000? I'm not going to give someone $1,000 to sell their house. So I had one a couple weeks back where the house was worth $250, and I mean that was high. That was high price per square foot, $250. He wanted $350. Told him I can sell your house for $250. If you have any questions, let me know. But he said so and so can sell their house. They can sell my house for that, and I'm like, okay, that's okay. I'm telling you, this is who I am, this is my reputation, this is what all my clients say about me, I've never taken one I haven't sold, and this is what I'm telling you. I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for a while. So if you want to do that with another agent, I'm okay with that. Have a nice day. So those are basically the other 2 outcomes. But other than that, pretty much once I get to the listing appointment, it's mine. Like yesterday, the listing appointment was just me walking around the house. I didn't present her. It was just me walking around the house being like, I need you to turn on the utilities, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, I need you to clean it, da da da, and here's all my paperwork, please sign it. Okay, thanks, have a nice day. Out.
So you normally meet them at the home?
I do, because I have to look at the home in order to price it properly.
So we have some new agents in the room. Can you go through what you look like a scenario when you walk in and you ask them, like you said, turn on the utilities, what do you do? Like, just pretend you're walking into
So when I go into the house, I hand them my business card and I say, I introduce myself and I tell them that I am going to look at this before we start and before I give them my presentation. I'm going to look at the home the way a buyer would look at the home. Okay. So if you'll give me a minute, I would like to view your home. Can I walk through the house? And you ask permission and then you walk through the house. But you say, I'm going to look at it as a buyer would. Right? Because that's what you need to bring them. They want a buyer, I want a buyer, everyone wants a buyer. So that's what you do. So there's ways to sell them. For me, expireds are low-lying fruit. Okay? They're low-lying fruit. So they're like the stuff that's easy to grab. Like, I'm hungry, it's low-lying fruit, I don't have to climb a tree or anything. I'm hungry, let's just give me some low-lying fruit, right? So it's easy. That's why I do it. It's work, okay, but to me it's easy. That's why I do it. So if you look on page 4, it gives you kind of the things that you should track. Okay? So when I say I called 54 or 56 or I called 35, that's total dials per week. But that's not, so that person can have 5 phone numbers, right? They count as 1. That person can have 1 phone number, it still counts as 1. So those are actual houses. So I'm dialing more than that. But Mojo dials for me, so it's easier. But if you look at it, the big trick to expires is just to do it consistently. That's the big, it's perseverance, right? You're going to get people that are angry, and you just apologize and hang up as quickly as possible. I had an agent last week who it had expired. They didn't realize it had expired. They called me and were like, you've had an ethics violation for calling my client. And I said, I got it from an expired store. I'm sorry. And they told me it was listed And I told them, thank you, have a nice day. Like, I did not pursue them. I did not do anything, because you're not supposed to. So I'm not about taking listings that I'm waiting for them to expire. But if you look at it, like I said, I have gotten 10 transactions year to date off of this. I happen to have sold every single one I've ever taken. Okay, right now I have 2 other expires. I have a listing inventory right now of 4. Half of those 4, 2 of them are expired listings. So you get to kind of choose what you want. So like if I get an LLC or a corporation and I don't want to talk to them and I'm on the phone, I say, I'm sorry, I have the wrong number, and I hang up. Like, you are in control of what you take. This is your business, you work it, you do what you're comfortable with. But you can see kind of, this is just the difference of, consistent, proficient, and efficient. My statistics are a little bit different than this because I call more, and I get about 1 listing appointment a week. Calling at least 100 expires a week.
Amazing.
But it took me, so I started calling them in December of last year, right? And that first expire, I actually called him on Christmas break. So I sent my kids out of because I have school-age children. So I sent them out of the house. I said, Mommy has to call expireds. Go away. Okay? And I made my husband take them somewhere. And the first expire that I ever got, I called on the 22nd of December for the first time. And I followed up with them. Like, nobody's business. Like, when can I meet with you? When can I meet with you? When can I meet with you? And I beat out Renee Sorolla for that listing. I don't know if you know who Renee Sorolla is, but he is a multi-million-dollar producer at Keller Williams, and all he does is expireds. And that's what gave me the, like, this is what I want to do. Because Renee Sorolla doesn't work weekends. So I'm like, oh. So I get 2 weekends off. I give myself 2 weekends off a month. It don't work. It's blocked. And I still make pretty good money. But I sold 10, and after broker's fees, everything else, I made $50,000 off of expireds this year. Like I said, I just got my license in March of 2014. So it's not like because I didn't have this huge client base. Like I didn't grow up in Houston. I'm originally from San Antonio. I didn't have like this huge network of friends to be able to be like, oh, I'm gonna sell all your houses. And I didn't have it like that.
So can you elaborate on what RedX and Mojo do? Each one of them, like
Yeah, I'll show you.
perhaps go through the whole, like what you do when you wake up and what you log into and what does what.
So the first thing that I log into in the morning is RedX. So when you log into RedX, it will automatically download leads for you. So there's filters you can use.
What is it called?
RedX. It's called the RedX. This is my email.
Okay.
If you email me, I will send you links to both programs that I use.
Okay.
So there's all kinds of different things you can do. If you wanted to do FSBOs, you could do those off of here. I'm not a FSBO fan, but by all means, if you want to be a FSBO fan, you're more than welcome.
Is there any reason why you don't?
I like to work with people that are highly motivated for me to sell their home. I don't. And FSBOs want to fight with you.
You did try it out.
I have tried it once, and I was successful. But it was a lot of threatening, and I don't play that game. So for instance, they were like, well, we want this and we want that, and we want you to cut your commission, and we want this and we want, and I'm like, I'm just gonna come get my sign. I'm gonna get my sign and get my lockbox, and we're done. And I don't enjoy that in my life. Therefore, I don't do FSBOs. I don't enjoy being done with people, and I don't enjoy people pushing me there because I'm not gonna work for free. So when I do an expired and someone asks me during my listing appointment, what do you list it for? I say 6%. I list it for 6%, and it's firm. If they ask me for a discount, I tell them I will pay your home warranty when we close on your home.
Which is usually about how much?
$450. maybe. And I use that because I'll advertise it, right? It's one less negotiation thing that we have to negotiate to bring a buyer. I can advertise it, I can get a sign, you know, I can do all that. And I will pay for their home warranty.
So you do take that out of your commission?
But it's instead of 1%, it's $400 or $500, right? And if they ask me why, I won't give them. I have no problem explaining it, and this is what I say.
Okay.
Out of that 6%, half of it goes to the buyer's agent. If we cut the buyer's agent commission, we're not going to be able to get you a buyer. We've already been down that road. Let's not do that again. Okay? Out of that 3%, 1% goes to my broker, 1% goes to taxes, and 1% goes to me feeding my family and marketing your home. Which one of those things would you not like for me to do?
That's very good. Say it again. 1% goes to what?
1% goes to my broker. 1% goes to paying taxes because I'm self-employed, and 1% goes to me marketing your home and feeding my family. Which one of those things would you not like for me to do? So who's gonna be the jerk? Who's gonna be like, you don't need to feed your family this week. Come with me. Step up to me. Tell me that. Like, go ahead. You don't want me to pay my taxes? I'm gonna go to jail, dude. So anyway, that's what I say. So this is Red-X. They have a Vortex. They also have something called Storm Dialer on Red-X that sometimes will dial things for you. I've never used it. I am a fan of, I don't fix things unless they're broken. Okay, if it's working for me, I'm gonna do it till it doesn't work anymore. So I don't do that.
So Storm Dialer would automatically dial for you?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so you're dialing by yourself manually?
No, I'm dialing with Mojo.
Oh, with Mojo.
Okay, so when you wake up in the morning and you log into Red-X, it will automatically, however you set it up, it will automatically get your leads for you. It'll say, oh, she's logging in, here are your leads for today. And it'll go here and it'll ask you to refresh. And then once you've refreshed it, it'll look like this.
But it'll give you the leads based on filtering, right?
On your filters. So, but it's usually based on county.
On county.
So, for me, my filters are based on county, and I only call residential. So you can call acreage, you can call rentals, you can call all of those things if that's what you want to do. I do Harris and surrounding counties. So I will do Montgomery County, I will do Galveston County, I will do Harris County, I will do Waller County. Because if it's a listing, I find that they're a lot of work in the beginning, but after that, they're kind of on maintenance mode. So I will take as many of those bad boys as I can get. And in Galveston in particular, I've had a lot of success because no one works really hard down there. I'm just saying. Like the houses that I've had in Galveston, one of them was on the market for 14 months. Sold it in 22 days.
Wow.
One of them was on the the one I closed on this week was on the market for 2.5 years. I sold it in 6 months. For more money than what it had been listed for 2.5 years. Yes, ma'am.
When you list a property, do you ask the seller to change things, to paint, to clean?
Mm-hmm. So
if they don't want to do it, would you still do it?
Depends on what it is. It depends on if I can sell it. So I always tell them like today, when she called me back and we spoke about it. She said, well, this other agent wants me to stage it, and she wants me to do this, and she wants me to do that. And I said, I wouldn't know that unless I look at the property. You don't have to do everything I ask you to do. Because they don't. We are a team. We are working together to sell your home. So, if I have a suggestion and you don't like it, I can still try it. It just depends on what it is. If it's something where I just think that there's no way I can get a buyer, fine. I usually will give them, I always like to give people options, right? Because then I'm not a bully. So, usually what I do is I give them an option. You can paint, and do this and do this, and I can list it for this. Or you can do nothing and I can list it for this. I'm good either way. You let me know what you want to do. This is your house. It's your money. You know, I'm easy. Just let me know what you want to do. And 9 times out of 10, they'll do what you ask. Okay? And if they don't want to do either of those 2 things, I terminate their listing. We're done.
Did you find yourself driving to Galveston a lot when you had those listings, or not really?
I had 4 of them all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, the first one I sold in 22 days. So I actually got that one. I had an open house there. I sold it at an open house. And off of that one open house, I had 5 transactions.
Out of that one.
One open house in Galveston.
You got 5 transactions, 5 listings,
5 transactions, yeah. So I had,
or 5 buyers.
I got 2 buyers,
Uh-huh.
2 other listings, and a lease.
Wow. Out of that one open house in Galveston? So that's a good market, I guess.
Because,
What was the day that you had that open?
I think I always do them on Saturdays or Sundays.
Anything special you do? You
I take the big old Remax balloon everywhere I go.
take the big Remax balloon
Everywhere I go.
and you
Blow it up in their front yard.
and you have access to that house?
Big office.
Yeah, they just like let you borrow it, and it's not easy. I mean, not hard to pump it up.
You just plug it into an outlet and it blows itself up.
There's a charge for it?
No, it's through the office. You just ask Spencer, say I have an open house this weekend, can I borrow the balloon? And he says yes, and then you take it and plug it in. Because, like for instance, there's certain areas you can't use directionals. Like I have listings, I've listed several homes in the Woodlands. In the Woodlands, you cannot have open house signs. Those directional signs, they pick them up and they'll throw them in the garbage. So I use that big balloon.
Do you announce it through HAR or something?
I put it in hard. I mean,
What
definitely.
time do you normally have it?
So I only do them for 2 hours. So either 1 to 3 or 2 to 4 on Sundays is what I like to do. Like this weekend, I'm having an open house and it's from 2 to 4. And I'm meeting with the owner before because he's an old person and has
Sunday
that.
2 to 4?
Sunday
And
2 to 4.
Saturday, what time do you?
I usually do earlier on Saturday. I usually do like 11 to 1. Those are the time periods I like.
You only do 2 hours.
Only 2
Any reason for that? Like why it doesn't go into 4?
Because 4 hours is a waste of my time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, is that
I'm sorry.
No, that's good. You've discovered that's a very good time, and that balloon, I'm sure, like does wonders because it's that advertising that everybody knows.
Right.
Can I say a little thing?
What?
Can I say a little
Yeah,
thing? In my experience, not that I have that much, but on open houses, on Sundays, if you do an open house, I do like 12 to 2, because at 12 people get out of church. And there's a lot of people who do go to church, you know, or whatever. And if you do it too early, then they're at church and, you know.
Right, and the reason I do 1 to 3 or 2 to 4 is they go to church and then they go to lunch.
Lunch.
Yeah.
And then they come
They
hang out with me.
Right.
Yeah. Do you take cookies and stuff? Do you have anything? No. Nothing. Just a sign-in sheet.
Yeah, a sign-in sheet and my smile.
That's it. You never take anything to drink or anything to feed these guys. No. 2 hours. Walk in, walk out.
I mean, there's one house that I have in the Woodlands that they wanted me to do like a booklet on their house with that talks about the neighborhood, and I have a booklet laid out on the front table. On that same front table, I put some chocolates, like some Hershey's Kisses. That house has Hershey's Kisses, so because that's what the sellers wanted me to do, and if you want me to put out Hershey's Kisses for you, and that's your listing criteria, I'll put out some Hershey's Kisses for you. It'll all be all right. So that house has candy, but other than that, no.
There's this myth that the open house has to be more than 2 hours. That's good to know. You only do it 2 hours.
Okay, so when you get this,
I have a quick question. How do you find out about signage and stuff like that? How do you know about which neighborhoods allow you to have?
So if the listing agent is nice, they will tell you. Okay, so if you were working an open house for me, and if you ever want to work an open house, let me know because I got plenty. The listing agent should let you know. Okay. That being said, when I was a newbie agent, I didn't have some very nice listing agents, so my signs got taken. That's how I figured it out. I went back to like look at my signs and I'm like, where are my signs? So like I called a friend of mine and I'm like, I can't find my signs because I had borrowed her signs
Oh my god.
for her open house, right? So I'm like, I think I'll use some signs, and she's like, what are you doing? You can't have signs there. I'm like, oh. Nobody told me. So sometimes it's trial and error. So that's one thing about real estate that you'll learn is that
Ignorance is bliss.
there's never an experience I haven't learned from. Let's put it that way.
I
Yes.
have a question about the signs, and it's just because I'm in an area where there are some old people that are moving out of the area.
Mhm.
And usually those old people know their neighbors really well, and I want to know if it's possible, if you ask the seller if they could ask a neighbor if they could put their directional signs in their yard versus outside of the sidewalk.
I mean, you
Because usually
can.
that's within a lot of HOA
Right, you
rules.
can, but the Woodlands will pick them up anyways. It doesn't matter. The Woodlands will pick them all up, regardless. They're just not allowed, period. Because it's not, the Woodlands isn't an HOA, it's a city ordinance because it's a city. So,
But I wonder why I haven't seen any other agents do that with their listings where they put signs in other people's yards.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't, I don't know. I don't think it would make a big difference. I put it in HAR and I have that big balloon and I'm good to go.
Okay.
Alright, so you've downloaded everything on your VEDX and you're paying for your VEDX. And when you pay for VEDX, tell them that I told you about it. I gotta get something out of this class, right?
Can
Yes, sir.
you tell me that? I'm so sorry about the Reddix.
That is the where I get the leads from.
Yeah, but when you sign up, what do you do?
You have to pay them a recurring fee, a recurring monthly fee. If you want, I will send you the link if you email me.
Okay.
The recurring fee is $70, right?
I think so. I think that's what it is. I think that's what I'm paying.
Really?
Somewhere in there. $70 a month. I think. I'll have to
It
look.
depends. Did they give you to choose what type of listings you want?
I only get expireds.
So if you get more, they charge you more.
Right. So if you wanted FSBOs or foreclosures or whatever, you could do those. But that's another class.
I'm sorry, can
So
you
can you
get her
alter?
out of here? This woman's bothering me.
So okay, you can so you go to here and you check all your listings, right? And you already have your Mojo open. This is what your Mojo looks like.
So Mojo is an answering.
Mojo is a calling service, so they call for me. I don't ever dial. I dial one phone number. I'll do it in a minute. I dial one phone number and I call 50 people. It's awesome. And I'm like, doo-doo-doo.
Did you show us?
Yeah, I am. I'll make some calls.
And how much is this?
This is $99 a month. But if you can turn 99, and that's for one line. But I'm telling you, if you
She says that her finger works better than the $99.
no, you don't. It's time.
Stop the bleeding.
Yeah, stop the bleeding, my friend. So what you do is you it's very easy to do, and you basically just wait for a live person when you use Mojo. And other than that, you don't do anything else. You have to set up your message to go out in Mojo, and it's on page 10 is what I use. Which is, this is Adrienne Oliver. I'm calling in regards to your home for sale. Please return my call at your earliest convenience at 832-217-7141. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.
You don't try to sound warm and fuzzy? No.
Oh. I'm not their best friend. I just want to sell their house. I mean, I will be their best friend by the time it's done. You can ask Alexia.
How many return calls do you have?
I usually get a handful every day. I got a return phone call on the way in. I said that earlier, and I have a listing appointment tomorrow afternoon. For a
How
return
much
phone
is
call.
the house for tomorrow?
$375
You're,
with a lake view.
you are a rock star.
So when you do this, you have to think about you have to figure out how long it's going to take you to sell it. So you get it, and the cheaper it is, especially like if it's like one, that's like $100,000 to like 150, or like up to even like 200. It's gonna go a lot quicker. You're gonna be able to get it done. Like the house on Sage Karen, I listed it and I had it under contract in 5 days, and the contract fell through.
Really?
And it was gonna close in 9, so I would have had him from basically me signing him up to him having his money in 14 days. But the contract fell through. Anyway, that happens. So, once you do Vortex, you'll click it, you go to Other, you go to Sync to Mojo Sync, and it'll say Syncing with Mojo.
Vortex is part of Red X, right?
Yeah, Vortex is Red X. It's their online base. So Red X used to have a program that you had to download, and you couldn't use it on a Mac. And I used to do that. So I used to have 2 computers going at the same time originally, because I'm crazy like that. And then they developed this for Mac users basically. So once you do that, it syncs with Mojo. And then you go to Mojo, and sometimes it will take Mojo a minute, right? So what I usually do is I click my data a lot and wait for, see the status change date in that corner?
That's your refresh key, the My Data?
Yeah, I just click it over and over until I see this right here change to yesterday's date. Once that's yesterday's date, I know my data's all synced, right? So then I go to Power Dialer. So you can see I can dial it from anywhere. And this is the phone number that's going to use. Caller display will display my cell phone. And then I've already pre-recorded my voicemail message. My callback message. Number of lines dialing for you. You can pay more than $99 a month, and you can get up to 4 lines simultaneously dialing for you. I don't have any value in that, personally. But if that's your thing and you want to do it, by all means, go for it. So number of rings before there's determined no answer, I have is 4. I let it ring 4 times, and then I move to the next one. Calling script, I don't ever use a calling script. I just use what's in my head because I have it memorized because I do it every day for almost a year now. So, but I use this. So when you make your first phone calls, literally, when I first started doing this, I do it while I stand. I don't sit when I do it. I stand when I do it. You speak better that way. So I have one of those tall boy dressers. And so it sits like this. My computer is here. This is here. And so I know, hi, my name is Adrienne Oliver with Remax. I noticed that your home listing expired. I do not say today because sometimes I call things that expired last week or last month. So I don't say the word today. And I was calling to see if you still have a desire to sell your home. And instead of still have a desire, I made it to see if you still desire. I dropped the have a. I knew there was desire in here somewhere. And if they say yes, basically I go into great. May I set an appointment to come by and share with you my proactive plan for getting it sold? And then if they say yes, I set an appointment and they figure it out. If they say no, I say thanks, have a great day. And if you go to the next page, you can ask them if their plans have changed. And when they say no, I don't like that. I feel like I'm getting enough just saying what I'm saying. I'm comfortable with it. I'm getting 1 listing appointment a week. And I want somebody who's motivated. I don't want somebody I'm going to have to handhold all the time. But that's my personality. My personality is very much like, I'm very black and white. I'm very yes or no. I'm not...
You don't cater to...
You're not borderline.
No, it's yes, I want to sell my house, Adrienne, or no, I don't. And if it's no, I don't have time for you.
And what if it's just a whole long story about how they want to, but they're not sure?
Then I'll talk to them.
Okay.
Unless I get a no, I'll speak to them. I'll oh really, tell me about your house, what's going on, Or if they say, I'm gonna sell I don't want to sell my house for 6 months, I'll tell them, you know, I sell houses every single month of the year. Houses sell every month of the year. I can sell your house now as easy as I can sell it in January. You know, and if they're still like, I want to wait till my kids are out of school, whatever, I say, okay, you can take down my phone number and call me when you're ready. And you could follow up with those people if you wanted. I don't. But the people who say yes, a lot of times what I'll get, yeah, I'm interested. I don't want to set an appointment, but can you send me an email of what you think my house is worth? I'll do that all day long. I'll send them an email. I'll follow up with them via email, and I'll do some follow up. Or my house isn't going to be ready for a week or 2 weeks. I'll follow up with those people all day long because the whole reason you have to figure out what your reasoning is for doing expireds. My reasoning for doing expireds is I need a listing now. I don't need a listing in 6 months. I don't need a listing in a year. I don't need a listing in 2 weeks. I need a listing now. I want listings. On my board at home, I have a whiteboard. And I keep track of like all my stuff. Like, so I keep track of like my sign inventory and, you know, where all my lock boxes are. And then I also have expireds, and I keep track of all the numbers that I do every day. So that's how I know I did 54 on Monday, I did 51 on Tuesday. Like, it's because I write them down literally. So I would encourage you guys to do that because you need to know your numbers. You need to know, I need to make 200 calls to get a listing. Okay? And then I need to go on two listing appointments to get one listing. Because your numbers might be different than mine. Because we all have different styles, right? So I haven't really ever I've gone on 3 listing appointments, probably out of 10 or so, where I either didn't get the listing or didn't want the listing. And there was one that they chose, that I wanted, that they chose over me. And I called them back and asked them why. Like, I straight up asked them what, I want to learn from every experience, what did I do wrong?
What did they say?
They said that the previous agent was an individual agent that they had, the one that it expired under. And they really liked her. But they decided to go with a team of people because they felt like that was something that they hadn't done before, and that this team convinced them that they had a negotiator and they had a buyer and they had a blah, 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 blah. So they wanted a team of people. Anyway.
In this case, can you say I have a team at Remax as well?
Well,
Because we do have it.
right, well, I talked to them, I had told them that in my listing appointment. I had told them that, you know, I have a team of 45 other agents, but part of what I like about me is that I'm a one-stop shop. I know what's going on. There's no communication loss here.
Yeah.
I can negotiate it. And I mean, I've negotiated deals up to, you know, starting with one price and gotten them up $50,000 to close it. So, I mean, I like that. And you can't make people choose you. You can tell them what's right, you can do what you're supposed to do, and you let them make the decision. When that happens to me, it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
There's something about that house that wasn't for me. Because they even told me on the phone that they liked me the most. That I was the nicest agent and that they felt I was the most professional. So I don't think I did anything wrong.
If I may interject, there are teams in Remax, you know, there are offices that have different models than we do. And in those offices, you know, they will have what they call the listing specialist. This particular person goes, you know, on the listing presentation. Once that is done, another agent will write up the representation agreement,
Right.
okay? Then the next step is, you know, when you get an offer, there will be a person that all they do at that office, okay, is present the offer to the seller. After an offer has been accepted, then that goes to another person for pre-closing. That's what they mean by a team, not a team kind of like us
Right.
here.
Right.
You know, but it's a different business model.
Right.
That's the model that, for example, Ronnie and Kathy Matthews in Spring have.
Right.
But
And
they all work
And Renee
They're
Sorolla.
salaried employees.
Renee Sorolla has that. Has
Right.
that too. All Renee Sorolla does is get listings. After
Right.
he's gotten your listing, you don't hear from him.
No, that's it.
David Flory, I think, is the same way.
Yeah, David Flory's the same way. And I'm
Not
not saying
child, I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Right, right.
a lot.
I'm not saying that I won't one day be that agent. I'm just not right now, and I don't lie. Just it's not worth it. Okay. So once you're there, you're gonna start. You're ready to start dialing, right? You have your little script in front of you. You're standing up.
Do you preview the homes in horror when they expire?
No.
So you don't even know what it looks like.
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
But once they
That
say,
takes
hey,
time. by
That's
the
a
way.
lot of work.
That's a lot of work. 'Cause
I don't need to preview their house in horror until they tell me yes, and that's when I preview their house in horror.
Okay.
but
Like
then-
literally, I wake up in the morning, I do and I call. Like I'm gonna show you exactly what I do in the morning. This is, I mean, literally, I haven't done.
Did you bring the pajamas?
Yeah.
I don't have my pajamas on.
Aw.
There. That was crucial.
And I usually have a glass of water, and like I
You don't
usually
drink coffee?
I drink coffee. I've already had my coffee. I drink coffee before I take my children to school. Otherwise I can't drive. So I usually have my water, and then I usually drink a smoothie for breakfast. So I usually have 2 drinks going. But I always have some water with you, because if you start talking, you can get.
Start choking.
Right, so, yes.
All right. So we're gonna go to start dialing.
Wait, I didn't see that. Where's your start dialing?
It was
Oh,
Power dialer.
power dialing.
We're gonna go start
Dialing.
start dialing.
Okay.
Okay. So if there's somebody on here I don't want to talk to, I just say I'm sorry, I have the wrong number, and I hang up. Okay. Like, it's not complicated. It doesn't have to be hard. So you push OK. So you can see I called 35. So it'll give you a phone number. So even though it's calling from the caller ID is my cell phone, I'm going to use the office phone. So when I do it at my house, I use my home phone. I use my home phone to call out, and then my cell phone is still there. And then my voicemail on my recording says, "This is Adrienne Oliver. Please leave a message if you wish that for your phone call to be returned. I do not call back people who don't leave messages. And if this matter is urgent, please text me." So you will get texts while you're calling.
So if we don't have a landline at home and we only have a cell phone,
You
it's
can
not
use your
gonna-
cell phone.
You can, okay.
I don't, because I have really bad cell phone reception in my house. And I was like, and Alexia's laughing because she knows it's true. From personal experience. All right. And if you are calling from your house and you don't have long distance, you need to have a long distance plan, otherwise you'll pay a lot of money. It's supposed to work.
Using your touchtone phone, please enter your PIN number. Your PIN number is up.
So I entered in a 09, which is my PIN number, and you click OK.
You are now logged into the Mojo Dialer. Please press the start button on your screen to begin calling.
So this is why I have a headset when I do this, instead of holding a phone, because if you do this for 2 hours and you're holding the phone, it's like crazy. So usually this is,
Where did you get it and how much?
I got it off of Amazon, it was $13.
And it works perfect.
So what's happening right now?
So it's calling for me.
So if someone picks up, it'll let you know.
Hi, my name is Adrienne Oliver and I'm with Remax. I noticed that your home listing had expired and was calling to see if you still desire to sell your home. Hello? Okay, so he's not answering, so I would go to would put bad number. That's what I do. So you just go to the next one. So you can see I called one person, but there's actually two numbers.
Where's bad number? I didn't see what you clicked.
There's when it live answers. So when it live answers, it'll green here. That's how you know. And then this will pop up right here.
So then it goes to the next one and so forth.
Yeah, but like I'm not dialing anything. We're hanging out talking.
So all you do is talk, basically.
Yeah. all
And
you
that
do-
thing is plugged up to your laptop at home.
What?
Or not to your home phone, right?
This is my home. To my home phone.
So you just need a laptop for those two programs, Mojo, and that's it.
And a phone.
And a phone.
Well, you can use your computer, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily be a.
Please leave your message for 316
I'm gonna click drop message.
975.
So I haven't spoken to anybody. And it just left that message I told you that I dropped. It did it for me, so it's pre-recorded. So because I don't want to talk to people that aren't live.
So you only, okay, that's my next question. So you just talk to whoever answers the phone and you go to the next one. You don't leave messages then, basically.
I do. I just left a message. It's pre-recorded.
Is there a
Oh,
count
the
of how many calls?
pre-recorded it. You clicked
What?
it.
The count of how many calls you've made? I mean, you've made so many dials.
That's one. It's one contact. So I go through all the contacts.
So once you've done like 35 or 40, it says 35 or 40.
We'll do like 5 or 10.
So the pre-recorded send the message to that person. I see. You're just don't
It
waste
gives you
saliva
the
on
options,
people.
And you do
Right.
it pre-recorded every day.
No. I pre-recorded it in December.
Oh.
So he's there.
It's there.
Nobody set it up. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, it's just a one-time setup. And you're
Because I
done.
heard you say something earlier.
I pre-recorded it in December. The message that's on here.
Yeah.
You have to set it up when you first get it.
Okay, then you were leaving a message earlier, I guess.
Nikki and Roland Long. Can't take your call now.
So I'm gonna click the
Oh,
drop
please
message. It's my
record your
pre-recorded
message.
message.
For finished recording, simply hang up.
So drop message is recorded.
She started talking because she was thinking that they answered the phone.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it says live, so I thought there was somebody there.
Okay.
Has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
That happens a lot. I mean, that's what I call in the morning.
So does that include
I didn't do this
100
one.
calls, even a drop?
It's just like,
Or
doesn't even know Joe.
what is total like live that you get on the phone?
I usually get 2 to 3 people a day. Call 50-something people, and I get 2 to 3 live people a day. And I usually get a handful of callbacks.
You think I can use this for recruiting purposes?
Yeah.
Headset and Mojo?
Yeah.
Like I'm just like they're just doing me wrong in the office again. I should
Pay your $99, man.
It's contagious. Now she's lazy too.
No, just leave it up.
No finger.
Please leave a message.
Another message.
So it's easy to make 100 calls a day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's easy if you do it like this, because before when I was a Keller Williams agent, like, I would try to actually dial people with, like, list sheets.
Okay, you're talking to somebody who does it every single day. Yes,
Right.
I understand that.
So, like, and I was like, this is gonna be hard. and then I did this, and I was like, I can do this. This is easy.
Yeah. Can you tell us a story on your client? Like, how long was her house? And how much did it sell for? Is that okay?
I was a buyer's agent for her.
Oh, I thought you do.
But we went through long periods of making offers on houses, and
So
there's a buyer's market at that time.
She had
What did you buy?
or a seller's market. It was a seller's market.
It's September last year.
September, but we had been working together since July. And if you remember, the summer of 2014, it was multiple offers over this price.
For similar businesses.
Craziness.
Connect to.
So this I would do a bad number.
Located at 10813.
Because that's not anything I need. So I would just click bad number.
So it's calling each number in that phone box right there.
How accurate do you find this service to be, Rex?
It's a lead generation service. So do I have bad numbers every single day? Yes. Do I make appointments and talk to real people who want to sell their houses every single day? Yes.
It's a gun.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to call some people.
Apparently it's a pretty good gamble. You're getting one listing a week.
But
So
yeah.
your house you finally found the house you wanted?
Yes.
Well, we offered, I think, on like 7 houses. We got beat out with 7 different deals because
Oh my
her
god.
price point was hard. Like they had a lot of things they wanted, and then they had a very affordable price
So
point.
we'll take the call this moment. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm available. Thank you.
Like an independent contractor, so that's also hard to show what, without paycheck stubs, what you're getting and stuff like
Can I ask
that.
a question? So, when you speak with someone, what number do they see? The one from the office, or they also?
They see my cell phone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way
So
I set
it
it
doesn't
up.
matter that you're using this phone to make the calls, but they're gonna be looking at your number.
So you can configure it any way you want, basically.
Which is why I like it.
I'm sure.
Because to me, this is easy. This is so much easier than dialing.
Adrienne, is
With
this,
automatic voice message system 405.
Yes.
is this the only kind that you do, like expires? Is that the only?
Other than
I mean, you
referral
don't do
business.
like you already said you've done FISBOs before or estate,
She's asking what's the other part of the majority of your business besides expireds that's made you so successful, because yeah, you made quite a bit of money in expireds, but you're a top producer.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
She's like,
Okay.
I
So,
meant to ask,
I've-
do you
so
do
what
like
else do you
estate?
I've closed 29 deals so far this year. 29. Your average agent closes 14. Okay?
Out of the 29, how many expired?
Out of the 29, 10 of them were expired. So the other 19 are referrals,
Okay.
are repeat clients. I've had some repeat clients this year, or family, like people who. Hi, my name is Adrienne Oliver, and I'm with Remax. I noticed that your home listing had expired and was calling to see if you still desire to sell your home.
Somebody speak Spanish, please.
Yeah.
Hola, buenas tardes. Le estamos hablando de Remax y notamos que su casa ya está vencida, se puso vencida ya la venta. Quisiéramos saber si usted estaría interesada en que pongamos su casa a la venta.
No, ya no, ya me han hablado, pero ya se quitó lo del sistema.
Y le puedo hacer una pregunta. ¿Cuál fue la razón por la cual no se pudo vender? Porque quizás nosotros le podamos ayudar.
¿De cuál centro me hablo?
Le estoy hablando de Remax. Mi nombre es Rosa Contreras.
Ajá.
Yo soy un agente de Remax y la razón por la que le estamos hablando es porque notamos que sí, su casa no se pudo vender en cierto periodo, pero nosotros podemos tratar de vender la casa al máximo precio posible. Quisiera ver si nos puede dar una oportunidad de poder ir a verla y darle lo que nosotros le podemos ofrecer.
Pues fíjese que ahorita ya me regresé yo para mi casa.
Oh, ya no está interesada en venderla.
Ahorita, por pronto, ahorita ya no.
Bueno, me gustaría que usted pudiera tener este teléfono, guárdelo. Si usted está interesada, por favor, denos una llamada. Nosotros podemos ayudarle, nosotros vendemos casas mensualmente, a todo el tiempo. Entonces, si usted decide venderla, deme una llamada y yo le voy a poder hacer una cita personalmente en su casa. ¿Ok? ¿Le parece bien?
Ok, está bien, entonces voy a agarrar el teléfono.
Claro que sí, me puede hablar cuando usted guste, ¿ok?
Ok.
¿Cuál es su nombre, disculpe?
María Segovia.
María Segovia. Muchísimas gracias, señora Segovia, ha sido un placer. Hasta luego.
Igualmente,
Bye
gracias.
bye. Okay, so she's gonna say the number.
Okay.
Okay.
So she moved back to her house.
Yeah, but she sounds like she might be one of those on the fence, you know?
She didn't know her property was expired.
You know what?
She said since when? So she was then she continued talking, so she was like confused because she didn't know it was expired.
That happens. That
Yes.
happens a lot.
Oh, she didn't know it was expired.
She didn't know it was expired. She goes,
Wow.
since when?
Oh, wow.
So, but what I did now is I hung up. So if you need to write something down or whatever, you can hang up. But what I use when I do it is this lead sheet. You look here.
Well, if she calls you and you need help with something.
Okay. But I get this, and that's what I write.
What page is it?
22.
So you said to take notes.
I don't usually necessarily get all of them, But this is why I don't. Usually, what I do is I get their name, their phone number, and I confirm their address, right? And then I ask them if they're interviewing any other realtors and have you set appointments.
By the way, she's mentioned a different last name, just in case.
Yeah. So you can note it here. You can do follow-ups. So like if this was me and I was working it on my own, these are classifications and groups I've made. See how I have one that says Spanish?
Where?
Right here.
Oh.
That's where that would go. That's where they go.
Do you refer those out? Make your little referral fee? Oh, there you go. How much do you want back?
20%.
Oh, you're cheap.
I'm not greedy.
Lovely.
I'm not greedy. I just want. All I did was give her a phone call and say yeah, and then all we're doing is following
So
up.
we can create our own groups up there, huh?
Yeah. So
hang up allows you to make notes.
yes. So then I would classify her as Spanish, and then I would go to contact.
Can you filter it out to a certain criteria of within a certain price range? Like if
Yes,
you
but that's done.
houses
That's
between
done.
200 and 400?
That's done in Mojo, or not in Mojo, in Red-X.
Okay.
So in Red-X, and my filters are $100,000 to $1 million.
Okay.
That's my price range.
Yeah.
So anything in that.
Which is everything. Yeah.
Right. Well, right now I do have.
What?
I have a listing. I have a listing right now that's $82,500.
How much?
$82,500.
Where is this?
In Denver Harbor.
Okay, got it.
But
Where's Denver, Harbor?
on the east side,
I mean, I've heard
east
of
of
that.
downtown. And that is a family friend of mine, and I will do that all day long because they're awesome and I love them, and they've done 4 transactions with me since I've been an agent. But I wouldn't necessarily hunt
Yeah.
an $82,000 listing.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's me. So then you go to contact, and once you hit contact, if there was additional numbers, it won't keep calling them, right? It'll go to the next one. So if there's 20 numbers and you've contacted them and they've told you no, you hit contact, and then it automatically goes to the next person.
Can you say that again? You said that fast.
So right here, you know how sometimes there's more than one number? Mm-hmm. So if you speak to them and you hit contact, because then it will take you to the next person.
Otherwise it'll dial them again.
Otherwise it'll dial an additional phone number of theirs. And then you're going to be like, yeah, I just talked to you. How's it going? Hey, how's it going? You're awesome. I love you. See you later. I know, like, you're going to sound goofy.
For the follow-up that you list, is there like a category in this thing that will set it up for a follow-up? Or is that something that you need to take down and follow up on?
So however you work best at it, there is a category where it says dead lead, hot lead, future follow-up, not interested, trash, warm lead, appointment set. There's all those things.
Right there. Everything is right there.
Where? I don't see it.
Where it says groups.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can do that.
So you can set it up.
You can set it up that way, and then you can filter it and go through all that. I write it down and put it on my bulletin board.
Yeah.
Because I'm old school like that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get in here, like, if
Yeah.
I'm not prospecting. But you can do it that way, yes. So we called 6.
There's 560.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there was, I've had as high as like 800. There was 585 this morning. So I called 35 before I got here. And the older they are, the harder they are. So you can see this one expired over a month ago. Expired September 25th.
Where is it? Where?
920.
Oh, okay.
And that's the list date. So you can see it was listed for 6 months. They also have agent remarks in here. So I read these sometimes as I'm calling. And if it says like owner agent, and they happen to answer the phone, I say, sorry, I had the wrong number.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But kind of when you're in here, read these. It's good. This gives you an idea of where the heck this property is that you're calling that you have no idea.
buyers.
You can. It's a whole different. But it's a whole different system. This is just for expireds.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. My name is Adrienne Oliver, and I'm with Remax. I noticed that your home listing had expired. I was calling to see if you still desire to sell your home.
Hold on. You got the wrong person.
All right, I'm sorry about that. Have a good rest of your day.
All right.
You see, you have the wrong person.
Yeah, you got the wrong person.
Maybe her husband was the right person.
I don't want to talk to people like that.
Yeah.
So you let it go.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Sorry to bother you.
Maybe it was her son.
It's fine.
Say you wanna say yeah.
I'll keep calling people. I got some more phone numbers.
So do you put them on like do not call number or do not call contact or what?
Do you feel like it has a bad number?
Hi, you've reached 713
Yeah, put it as a bad number.
973-2042. Please leave your
All right, this is the last one I'm going to do.
This is Cody.
Hi, good morning. My name is Adrienne Oliver, and I'm with Remax. I noticed that your home listing had expired. I was calling to see if you still desire to sell your home.
Yeah, I'm actually not in charge of that listing. I think that was put under this number on accident.
All right, I'm sorry to bother you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
That's weird.
Would it dial to the next number that's on the list, or